Prismatic Evolutions has been riding on an incredible hype train, but at the same time, 151 has been experiencing one of the biggest booms we've seen on a broader set level in a while. So today we're going to be going over some of the biggest moving cards, particularly they're all going in the upward direction, the ones I'll be going over. And then I'm going to go over some products where you can actually find some affordable 151, which is becoming harder and harder to get our hands on. So without further ado, let's get into today's video. Starting off, let's take a look at the Charizard from 151. Beautiful Sunzard that is the number one card in the set. As you can see, and you'll notice this amongst all the cards, it was late September when they all started to rapidly increase in price. They were averaging a decent price to begin with, like a lot. If you'll take a look at the 151 general market, and I'll do that once beforehand. If you look at it generally, the full arts definitely did not change in price too drastically. They were all generally in the $10 range, which is uncommon for full arts, generally speaking, in terms of other sets. If you go to Paldea Faith, Paldea Evolved, Scarlet and Violet, you name it, you're not going to see many full arts averaging this $8 to $9 range. As it is, 151 had decent prices across the board. But it was really near the September mark, early October, and late September that you got to see this transformation in value. As we can tell, the Charizard is continuing to grow up. It did slightly recorrect in value, going to 180-ish, and then it started to jump back up to 200. I have no doubt this is one of the best cards in 151 and in the entirety of the Scarlet and Violet era, and the storyline does it an incredible boost. Next up, we have Blastoise. I'm not going to speak too long about these cards, just want to show you all the prices. So this one has also jumped up tremendously. It had a recorrect to about 66 and then is back up. We have Venusaur, which had a similar trajectory to the Blastoise, correcting, but it's still on the downward a bit. I would say this is a bit of a spike, and then it might continue to drop a little bit. I have a feeling that the Venusaur and the Blastoise are kind of in the air for now. Charizard, I think it should go up decent value, but we'll have to see for sure. We have Charmander. This is a card that I have to say, regardless of the hype that has come recently, it's generally been a card that has seen gentle growth. Since May, it really was moving up, and then near that September mark, late September, early October, it had a nice little boost. Next up, we have the Zapdos SAR. This card is nicely dropping back down. I think it's reasonable to say not all the cards should have shot up all at once. And so it's nice to see that the market is experiencing a bit of a correction. I have yet to pick up the Zapdos, and I will definitely do so, as it has dropped from 52 all the way down to 45, which is really nice to see. We have Squirtle, part of the Blastoise line. Again, crazy growth, going for $40. We have the Alakazam. This card is so underrated, I have to say, one of my favorite cards. And a lot of people adore this artwork, and yet it never really received the love. It is still, I think, quite undervalued as an SAR as part of the 151 set. And this is the affordable base set, y'all. If you didn't have the chance to open those sets when you were younger, this is like a version of it that is still available, that has some insanely sensational artworks, and I have no doubt, apart from the nostalgia, it will also have value just because of how gorgeous the artworks are in general. Next up, we have Bulbasaur. I have to say the least favorite of the three lines. The Venusaur line didn't hit a home run for me. The Bulbasaur is quite cute. I do like it. But I don't like the Venusaur and the Ivysaur as much. Same thing with Charmeleon, but it's dropping significantly. So it's only had a 10% gain overall compared to the other cards. That's fairly less. As you can see, Ivysaur had a 40% increase in value in the past 3 months. If we actually look at the 1 month, we'll see a more recent picture, but I'm just doing 3 months so we can include that September jump. We have Pikachu. This card I actually mentioned in my undervalued illustration rares video. When it was going for $16, I told y'all this would go up, and it did. It was actually going for $28 not too long ago. Experienced a bit of a correction as well. But this card, naturally, it had to go up. Look at how amazing it is. There's so many recognizable, loved Pokemon in this one artwork with Pikachu in the center. How could you go wrong with that? We also have War Turtle, the second part of the Blastoise line, 25% gain. And this Dragonair was another card that I'm not 100% sure if I mentioned it in the video, because I had this weird issue where my video glitched out and I had to restart. I think I might have changed the order, but I did put it in one of my versions of the videos, this particular Dragonair, and boy has it gone up. But moving on, I want to mention some of the places now that you can actually pick up 151. So there are two options. There's Costco, which y'all might be looking at me like, we saw the videos. Everyone was tossing boxes on the floor, terrifying kids around them. It was not a pretty sight, you know. That's not what this is supposed to be about. We need to have a little bit more restraint, but also I hate the fact that so many people are scalping, so kids can't get these products. They can't manage to open up, you know, sets like this because they're just people buying up entire stores of 151 and kids cannot open it. That's another issue on its own. But right now we have some more 151 products coming out. Particularly the next one I'll be talking about is in Canada, but then the second one I'll be talking about will be available throughout. So yeah, the next product I'm talking about is actually in Canada. We still have not seen it released yet, but I actually went to my local Costco and I found these tins, the 151 mini tins, going for $55 in store, $65 online, because it incorporates Costco. It basically incorporates its shipping costs into individual products, unlike having, like, if you were to buy a Nike or somewhere else where they would just give you a flat rate. That's not the case here. So I would say if you can find it in person, definitely a better deal for you. As you can see, we have this version right here, but there's also another version featuring a Meowth, which also has Arcanine and Machamp and the two other tins. I would say get this one because the Gengar is the most expensive in terms of individual tins. Plus you have Dragonite, so pretty cool. These hollow foils are also decently valued because if you look on TCG Player, there's this particular Squirtle. This is just one of the four, but it is going for $2. I mean, that's not terrible. That's not terrible at all. Speaking to the fact that you have $8 there, so you subtract that from your $55 in opening costs in those tins itself, which just further makes this such a worthy product itself. But if we take a look on TCG Player, we'll see that there's actually a huge increase in the aftermarket for these products. So if we'll look into the month, that was a bit of a crazy period over there. This is about the average. I'd say 75-ish is probably a more accurate price for this at the moment. There's also, of course, so this is the other variation I was talking about, the Meowth version with the Arcanine, Machamp, and there are also a few other Pokemon always in the background, which is kind of cute to see. But yeah, so this is going for $79, and if you buy this right now for 55 Canadian, this is 80 USD. So bear that in mind. A huge increase in price. A wonderful product to keep sealed in your collection. I would not say sell it off right now if you purchase it. I have no doubt this will go up in value. Mini tins in 151 as a sealed collection are going for upward of $170. I believe that's 10 tins together. This is 8 tins, and you have the promos. It's definitely a nice hold product for sure. And another reason I would say 151 from Costco might have better value than if you were to get, you know, individual sealed tins and just hold 5 tins versus getting this as a Costco bundle. If you take a look at this right here, I purchased one of these. I got 2. I opened up one and kept the ETB sealed and took out those 2 tins, and I got one and kept it sealed like this. I'm happy I kept one at least sealed as a set, because right now I got it for $100 Canadian. It's going for $170 USD now. So that is the craziness. That is Pokemon in Costco sometimes. When you hit the right set, you got some great value. But the next product I want to talk about is actually a product coming out next year, early next year. It's going to be Blooming Waters, a collection box featuring Blastoise and Venusaur right over here. As you can see, a pretty nice looking product. Nothing crazy, I'll be honest. I would have hoped for better promos, but at the same time, I feel like it might be more accessible because not everyone is going to pounce like a tiger onto this product and rip open the store doors and literally send the products flying across the floor like they did in Costco. Hopefully this will be a little more tame in terms of the civility of acquiring this, because there aren't any insane promos. These are literally the ones you can pull in the set, plus a jumbo version of the Blasters. I don't think there are too many jumbo collectors out there who are eyeing this and saying, yes, this is a must buy. This is the pinnacle of my jumbo collection set. No one's going to be saying that. So anyways, 12 packs. This is the back of it. See some of the details as which are going to be, you know, the 4 foil plus the 1 jumbo, 12 packs, and then you get the code card. All nice and good, and I think this is a great chance. I think it might, I don't know the price, unfortunately. It hasn't really been listed anywhere to be able to say, yes, this is the average price it's going for. But seeing as it's 12 packs, it could range, and I'm talking about Canadian right now, it could go for around $80, $80 to $90. We'll see. That's just my guess. But I hope y'all are able to get your hands on these if you're looking for 151. Because if you're not in Canada, those 151 tins are definitely not going to be available. The US, there was just too much and it's gone. Even today when I went into the Costco, they had a limit of only acquiring 10 of those mini tins, which is quite unusual for Costco. So they understood and they learned from the US experience and they changed it up for Canada. So hopefully you'll be able to get your hands on it. But as I'm saying, in the morning when I went, it was wiped. It was literally wiped. And I think this was the first day. There were very, very few left. There's Paldean Fates, but there was no 151 as far as I could see. They might restock for sure. So keep an eye on, because I have seen many times where things get wiped, but then they systematically re-include it in their stock. So I'll be checking out actually when I go to another city in Canada. I will check it out actually if Costco is carrying them in that particular location. See if there's a good variation. I'll just let y'all know what's up with that. But yeah, hope y'all have a wonderful day, and I'll catch you all in the next one.